Hi guys, today is July the 20th, 2020, and I've had a couple of you ask some questions on this, and so I wanted to kind of walk you through my scenario today with Tesla. I have been trading this strategy with Tesla for, the last probably 7 trading sessions or so, and anticipate continuing to do it all the way up to earnings here coming up shortly. It's been interesting. You can see right here on my Tesla trade that I've got about 45,000 of capital committed to that trade. And I've been bringing in over $2,000 a day on average using this sort of approach. And it's just simply because Tesla has such crazy implied volatility. But I did want to show this to you. I think it's interesting. I actually have today in Tesla, I've got a couple of interesting setups going on. Take a look at this risk graph for today on Tesla. This is such an interesting risk graph here. Let me see if we can get it. There we go. So there's the trade. And I actually have, if you look at that, I've got 2 different trades going on. So number one, I do have an iron condor going on right here. I've got a short iron condor going on. And when I put this on this morning, you can see Tesla's down just a titch here. But when I put this on, these short legs that I sold, there's the call leg that I sold, there's the put leg that I sold. That in and of itself would just be like a credit straddle, right? Did it at about 15.10 was the price. And the interesting thing about that, if you look at the money, so there we are right now, there's the current price of Tesla, it's about 14.97. You can see that you could sell the at the money put, and you could sell the at the money call for essentially the same price. And what's interesting about that trade is that it cost me a couple $100. So we'll separate this out. Let's go take a look at this trade. And let's just separate this out a little bit. Let's take an analysis here. And I'm going to remove the credit strangle that I have in place so that we're just looking here at this trade that I have in place right now. Let's go back now and look at that in the curve. There's the trade. So it's sort of a crazy trade because obviously it has, I don't want to say 0 chance of making any money, but it's pretty low. I think it was like the POP on this, the probability of profit was like 15%, 20%, something like that. What are we looking at here? Well, there's my the short legs of the trade, basically selling the same strike price, selling the 15.10s. And then I bought the wings out here. I bought the 1540s on the call side, and I bought the 1480s on the put side. What this does is it makes it a predefined risk trade. How much am I risking? Well, you can see right there I'm risking $200. So my total risk in this trade is $200. I put up $200 that I'm willing to lose in this trade. What could I make in the trade? Well, if you hit it just perfect, you'd make $2,800. But somewhere in this range, you could make anywhere from $500 to $1,000 pretty easily if we finish in the range. So for me, I wanted to go ahead and put this on. I'm going to leave this portion of this trade until expiration this Friday, or until we are able to pull that out at a profit, either or. But for me, I was willing to risk $200 in order to make maybe $2,000, $3,000 back, even though it's such a low probability trade because the risk reward ratio is so nice. And secondly, the $200, it's not my money. I'm bringing in this $200 from my other positions here that I've put on. And what are these other positions? Well, these are the wings out here. So if we just, I'll de-emphasize these. This is the trade that we just looked at here. This is that very, I guess you'd call it an iron condor, but my wings here are basically credit straddles, right? So there's the very low probability, high profit trade, low risk trade, really putting up 200 bucks to do that trade. I'm paying for it with this trade right here. And this is really where my profits are coming in on this trade. If you just look at that trade right there, I sold the 1270 puts and I sold the 1770 calls. And it's got about, I'm up 100 bucks or so right now overall on that position. Got almost another $600 of credit coming in. So I could make maybe $700-800 today. I will close this position out before the market closes today. I don't want to be holding Tesla overnight. But if you look at those and you combine those positions, if we come back here, let's add those positions back in, the full positioning. You can see I kind of have this interesting sort of risk graph here that, again, has been generating a couple $1,000s a day in income for me. You don't hold it overnight, but it's interesting. So we'll like to come back here and just revisit this position on Friday, kind of see where we end up on that. But some of you had asked how I'm trading Tesla. That's how I'm doing it. Just trying to pull out $1 or $2 grand a day on that with about 45,000 in capital. It's not too bad of a trade.